Welcome back to Sedlak Offroad School. Today with another Enduro riding tip, and we're going to look at when you want to be standing up and when you want to be sitting down to have ideal control of your bike when riding off-road. So we have a bunch of videos where we talk about the position you want to be in when you're sitting down, when you're standing up. One in particular is how to control your bike standing up, and we'll link that up here below. Make sure to check that video out as well, just to make sure you have your feet in the right position, you have your legs in the right position, and you know exactly how we want you to be standing up. In today's video, we're going to look at some follow-up shots out here on the trail, just to give you an idea when it's good to be standing up, when you have more control riding standing up, and when it's actually beneficial for you to sit down on your bike. So this sandy single trail that we're riding here is a great spot to kind of look at the differences between standing up and the control you have on your bike and sitting down. In general, you just have a lot more leverage, a lot more control. You're able to weigh the foot pegs a lot better while you're standing. Yet there are some points, especially in tight turns and tighter ruts, where it's actually beneficial for you to sit down. You can get a little bit more traction towards the front tire by sitting down, and the bike just turns a little bit tighter when you're sitting down. As far as when to sit down, you can see it right here. You're standing into the apex of the turn, and then you sit down and start to accelerate. So the longer you can be standing up into the turn, the longer you can stand up into a rut, you just are able to control the bike a little bit better. And then when you sit down, the bike really leans in, turns, you can start to accelerate and power right out of the ruts. So this upcoming section is a great example of how much more nimble the bike is while I'm standing up. You can see here just weighing my foot pegs depending on where I want to go, and the bike reacts exactly the way I want it. And you can see here, so this uphill, now coming down the hill, you notice right here is when I'm sitting down, get on the throttle, and the bike just turns right out. So you can see that it is a lot more beneficial to be standing up deep into the corners, then sit down, turn the bike. You want to make sure you bring your weight forward. Obviously this is a sandier loop, so you can see my chest position is a little bit further back, and we had that sand riding tip last week, which you can find that linked up above here, to talk about that position in sand. And generally your hips are still forward, but your chest a little bit further back. Now the second time around on this loop, I have a couple of mistakes creeping in, and it's a perfect demonstration for this video. I start sitting a little bit too early in some of the corners, and you will find that I just have a harder time turning in the bike. So this now is the perfect example. I get lazy, I sit down too early, and then you see right here, I hit the rut, the bike stands itself up, I'm losing my balance, my foot goes to the left, my upper body shifts to the right, and it just becomes really hard for me to control the bike. So to answer the question, when do you want to be sitting down, when do you want to stand up? Point one, stand as much as possible. The more you can stand, the more control of the bike you have. Sitting down really for tight sections, right? If you have to turn the bike tight, you see some of these ruts, these 90-degree turns, 180-degree turns, and those obviously change a little bit once you get onto trails in the woods. Anytime you have to turn the bike really tight, that's where it's beneficial for you to be sitting down. Get your weight forward, you can take your leg out and just have a little bit more control of the turn, of getting the bike around. As highlighted in the clip earlier, the more you sit down, the more the bike wants to stand up. So if you find yourself having trouble getting your bike turned on a trail or on a little single trail like this, it's probably because you're sitting down too much and the bike just doesn't want to handle the way you want to throw it into a turn. So try sitting down really only for the tight sections, for the tight turns when it's necessary. The rest of the trail you want to be standing up as much as possible. This is it for today's riding tip. This is when you want to be sitting down, when you want to be standing up, when you're riding off-road. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. Every week we post new videos, riding tips, bike reviews. We have a lot of cool stuff coming up. So if you're into motocross, enduro, adventure riding, this is the channel for you.